This is Down the Aisle Wrestling Podcast, where we only make one promise. We will always reach for that.
That's really.
With Robbie Mack and Kevin Laramie. Here's Kevin Laramie. WrestleMania 31, about 5 days away, Rob.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like it, does it, Kevin?
No, it doesn't. Hello, welcome to Down the Aisle Wrestling Podcast. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing well, Kevin. I haven't had any tug of wars today, so what about you?
No tug of wars either. It was got close though, but I grabbed the last pint of milk before the other guy, so we didn't have to do a tug of war at the store. But about 5 days before WrestleMania, do you think the hype has started now? Because today, let's just start with this breaking news: Brock Lesnar has re-signed with WWE last night after Raw.
Well, Kevin, I don't think
before, I don't know, but last night. Let's just say this.
Somewhere in between. But who knows how long this has been in the books for? And maybe they just picked this time to announce it.
No, for sure it wasn't, because if you're Brock Lesnar, I would have waited a couple of days, because if you get offers from all different companies, your price go up, right? But he didn't do this. He clearly stated on ESPN, of all places, that his MMA career is over, even though he didn't like the way he ended his MMA career with the loss to Overeem and the last loss that he had in the Octagon. Now he's going to focus entirely on WWE. Basically, he said, Rob, that he had an offer by McMahon that he cannot refuse, a full-time pay for a part-time work, and that's a lot to say.
Of course it is. And I think WWE almost had to re-sign Brock Lesnar, especially with everything that happened with CM Punk. But they really need to go guns a-blazing. Brock Lesnar, let's face it, even though he's there only part-time, he's still a draw, and he's still a pretty big draw. Now, will they get the returns on the money that they're paying him? Only time will tell. But I think this is a good move. This is an exciting move. I finally got some excitement over something. Yeah, so I have excitement over something that I haven't really felt excitement over in wrestling in a long time. So it's good to see. It's good to see.
Yeah, it is good to see, Rob, but we'll talk about that match later on with our preview of that match. But let's just dive into our WrestleMania Playsign preview with the kickoff pre-show, which is a fatal four-way for the WWE Tag Team titles. And the only thing that excites me, and no, it's not chicken fries before that match, what excites me is the fact that Cesaro and Tyson Kidd are walking in WrestleMania with the straps, and that means a lot, because in a short period of time, they've become the most over tag team, if not the most over two characters in the whole effing company.
I think they're definitely the official tag team of the IWC. My only complaint about this, Kevin, is instead of having like a stupid fucking Kid Ink concert over the hell they're doing, why can't this match be on the main show? If you're going to have stupid shit like look, I do not like concerts on wrestling shows. I am not going to a wrestling show to see a concert. I'm not going to a hockey game to see a concert. I'm not going to a football game to see a fucking chess match. I'm going to the particular event to watch what's there. My only complaint is that this match is not on the main show. But I get that you have to have someone kick off the pre-show. But why does it have to be a title match? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but devil's advocate here. On WrestleMania, the card is full, it's packed, they would not have a lot of time. And with players like Cesaro and Kidd, and even one Uso that's not injured, and Kofi Kingston, they can have a great match. And on the kickoff, that's a 2-hour kickoff, Rob, they will have a lot more time to perform a great match for the title than they would have on the actual main card.
Yeah, no, you're right. I get that.
Well, it was Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer was saying this, but I agree with that statement.
Yeah, no, that makes up a good point. And, that's the best thing about having a show. We can discuss these points and come to a logical explanation. Before we move on, speaking of the Kid Ink concert that they're going to have, because they plugged him on Raw or whatever, do you know who else was on Raw? sitting behind JBL, who got no mention at all.
Paul fucking Stanley, lead singer of Kiss.
He was the biggest star out of any of those guys they were talking about.
He left
And,
midway, I heard, though.
well, yeah, I'm guessing it's because he has nothing to do with WrestleMania, but WWE gets such hard-ons about celebrities that show up. Why don't they mention that Paul Stanley's at the fucking show?
That's the thing. Even Vince would know who it is. So I guess the person who were in charge that night at the actual video feed did not even know who fucking Paul Stanley was.
And not only that, just when they would cut to him, there didn't seem to be anyone like talking to him or like going to ask him for. I know these guys are hard to tell without their makeup on, but come on, throw a guy fucking. Hey, look, Paul Stanley's here. You know.
Yeah, we'll talk about the card in no particular order because we don't know what the setup is going to be, what the lineup is going to be. So we'll just start with the match that with a great promo on Raw, except maybe, I don't know, I liked everything. I really liked that promo from Bray Wyatt. Yes, there was maybe smoke and mirrors, but more music and background setting that needed to be, but still Bray Wyatt's promo, his delivery, and the weird, like it's vague, the way he speaks about things, so let's place for the imagination of interpretation. You can interpret it many different ways, and it's interesting. And Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker is a match that I'm looking for. And the thing is, you never know what can happen because they have to set up a freaking WrestleMania 32 with 100,000 people, which we are planning to be 2 of those 100,000 people.
We sure are. And so, Kevin, you said you're excited about the match. To a degree, I am too. Maybe it's just me being kind of a stick in the mud because Taker doesn't have a streak anymore, saying that it's hard to get excited about this match because it's just The Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt. There's no streak on the line.
Sure.
That mystique isn't there anymore. Now, am I interested to see how the two work together? 100%. But compared to other years, I'm not as excited about this Undertaker match as I was in the past. But at the end of the day, I'm sure they're going to have a great match. They're going to put on a great show, tell a great story. And hopefully this benefits Bray Wyatt, and hopefully it benefits The Undertaker, and we'll just kind of see where they go. So, prediction. We never did give a prediction in our first match, Kevin. So I'm going to go with my heart in that one and not my gut and pick Cesaro and Tyson Kidd.
Okay.
And in this match here,
I agree with you, by the way. I think it's going to be Cesaro and Kidd. They're the only over tag team in that company.
And I don't think Taker loses 2 years in a row, so I'll go Taker over Wyatt.
And that's where we start to disagree. I think Bray Wyatt's win, and you know why? Mm-hmm. And that's an idea that John Pollock and Wei Ting were talking about. I can't remember which one had the idea first, but I think it was John Pollock. He was saying that, you know what, for the guy who was associated with the streak for so long, associated with the winning streak for so long, what if he loses his second match in a row and they already plan a match for next year and he can finish his career with a losing streak? The man that was so known to having a winning streak of 21 straight win at WrestleMania can finish his career with a 3-fight losing streak at the mains. Who knows? And that could put some credibility to a match that whoever the opponent would be at Dallas next year. Dallas.
Maybe
Dallas, Arlington.
Maybe, Kevin, what they should do is have The Undertaker lose 21 straight matches at WrestleMania now to even it up.
72 years old, coming out on his walker.
Yeah, just have him go 0-21 the next 21 years. WrestleMania 50, the Undertaker.
And he finally goes over Kane because Kane is still there working for the company.
And the Big Show. The Big Show will probably be there too.
Special guest referee.
And he'll turn heel in that match for the 8,000th time.
Big plans for the future for the company. All right. Another match that I'm not particularly excited for, not at all, except for maybe the fact that they did have a decent match on Raw between Paige and Nikki Bella. A match they had time, about 12, 13 minutes. It was not that bad, actually. But AJ Lee, Paige versus the Bella Twins. There's a small dissension between AJ Lee and Paige, which we could see probably 5 miles away.
Oh, of course we can, because I'm assuming that the whole thing with the Bella Twins is going to be over with Paige and AJ Lee. But, Kevin, remember that right after WrestleMania is usually call-up time from NXT.
Oh, yeah.
Like within that period, too. So
Charlotte.
Charlotte's got to be next in line. So maybe we'll see something with Charlotte and AJ. Maybe we'll see something with Charlotte and Paige. But regardless, I think the Bellas will win. Kind of going off, piggybacking up with you saying the dissension between the two. But, yeah, it's going to be call-up time. So I think they might not be paired up with one another. but I think they're definitely done with the Bellas. I don't know what the Bellas do. Go back to banging John Cena and Daniel Bryan, I guess. I don't know.
I don't really care about the Bellas at
No.
all. Even though the match was decent, Nikki Bella did have a
Yeah,
decent
yeah,
match on
for
Monday.
sure. As far as like for Nikki Bella's standards, right? So
Yeah, exactly. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, or in quotes, the match where we put everybody that's not doing anything else in.
so they can get a payday.
Exactly. Connor, Victor, Kane, Big Show, Darren Young, Titus O'Neil, Jack Swagger, The Miz, Ryback, Curtis Axel, Fandango, Adam Rose, Zack Ryder, Eric Rowan, Sin Cara, Damian Sandow, Goldust, Mark Henry, Heath Slater, a NXT superstar to be determined, which we will be talking about in a second, and others to be announced. A lot of bodies in that match, and what do you expect maybe the Miz and Miz down moment?
Oh yes, I do, and I'll go to as far as saying that the moment's going to be at the end, where they're going to be the last two, and Mizdow is going to win the Memorial Battle Royal.
I would have predicted the exact same thing a week and a half ago before it was announced that an NXT superstar is going to move in. You talked about how usually the Monday after WrestleMania we see a couple of call-up. A lot of people are ready down in NXT. And 4 names are going to fight at WrestleMania Access in a tournament, and the winner will be included in that Battle Royal. And what a better way to introduce a new character to a company if you make him either top 3, top 2, or even make him win the whole damn thing by having the 4 guys are Hideo Itami, Tyler Breeze, Finn Balor, and the former NXT champion Adrian Neville. The winner of that, I expect to be Balor and Neville at the final. And I think even though Neville has been there for longer, I expect Balor to win. And I expect Balor to appear. Can you imagine? All the marks are going to shit their pants when the first note of Balor's entrance, because if he's included in there, he's getting an entrance at WrestleMania. And that could be something that a lot of people are waiting for. Or you can milk it and make the biggest entrance next year at Dallas. Who knows? But I think it's going to be Finn Balor. But I could be wrong. It could be Neville. But if it's Balor, Balor's winning the whole damn thing.
Now, Kevin, let me ask you this about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now, I know they got that nice-looking trophy.
They got it back, but it's not as nice. I was actually looking at the footage from last year. This year's trophy is a lot less shiny. So, it's going to get broken again, that's for sure.
Now, one of the things I liked how they have the name of Cesaro, who won it last year. I think that's kind of cool. It's very Stanley Cup-ish. And with
and big enough so you can spot it on the camera, yeah.
But, I mean, at the end, would you like to see this match mean something a little bit more? I'm not saying title shot, but the winner gets something or something along the lines. It's tough to do because you just don't want to give people world title shots because there's enough of those. But I'd like to see this battle royal mean something in the end. Where
remember at WrestleMania, because when I was rewatching the actual battle royal earlier today, Rob, and Cesaro was really over winning that Memorial Trophy
with that crowd though. Remember, it's a crowd like us though, Kevin. So
but that's why I believe that match should be that trophy is almost the IWC heavyweight strap.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Cesaro won it, even though disregard whatever happened to him after and the fact that they fucked him up. But remember that night he was over. And they could do the same thing with either Finn Balor, which is Prince Devitt, or either a Damian Sandow. Even both of them could become the same type of moment at the end of that battle royal. And that could become a tradition. You get somebody that a lot of people like on the IWC, and you make him be happy with that moment. It's like throwing the bone to them, that Memorial Trophy, and that could be an idea.
Well, yeah, I think that's a good idea, and I think it's kind of interesting how you say that it's the that this battle royal is the IWC title because I never really thought about it like that. But I mean, Cesaro won it last year, and again, and I guess we'll see who wins it this year. You and I, so we got Mizdow and you got Finn Balor going over.
Who knows? It could be Curtis fucking Axel with the way he was pushed the last couple of weeks.
I think that I wouldn't have any issues with that. I just think kind of Curtis Axel has become a joke character, unfortunately. But what he's doing is working, and it's working well for him. So,
and we remember, please remember this: don't change the channel.
That's right. We won't, or change your network. What you're watching on the network. Don't back out and watch a different WrestleMania, or do. It might be better. I don't know.
All right, one match I was holding because after this match we're getting to serious business. Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. A match that I would love to see 2 months ago before the fact that he fucked up the build to it. Mm-hmm. But what do you expect between Rollins and Orton?
I expect them to put on a decent match. I don't expect them to burn the house down, but I expect a decent match out of these two. I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Kevin. I don't really care, but at the same time, Rollins is a great wrestler. Orton's a great wrestler. They're going to put on a great match. Just because I don't care about the story doesn't mean that it doesn't mean it's going to not be a fantastic match. Well, I expect that.
Who goes over?
Rollins. It's got to be Rollins. You can now, Kevin. Now you build Rollins up like a rock star. Yeah. Have him go over everybody. Start the climb on his way to the cashing in that Money in the Bank title. Because that could be coming.
Speaking about the Money in the Bank briefcase, you know that it's never been cashed in at WrestleMania before. Do you think there's a chance, there's a way, there's a possibility that will happen at WrestleMania Playsign?
With Lesnar re-signing, no. I would say beforehand, I would say maybe. But think,
but you need to get rid of the briefcase soon. Even if you don't want to give the title away, do you make him cash in and loses, or that's not even an option for now?
No, I think Rollins has got to win the title, and yeah, you're right. He's got to cash in as soon because it's coming up on a year pretty soon.
Like 3 months away, I think.
I think it would be cool. You know what I think it would be kind of cool, Kevin, with the Money in the Bank briefcase? Have the guy hold on to it. How cool would this be? And it's cool because it's a build. I don't know how many more times I can say the word cool. But if you have Rollins hold on to it till this year's Money in the Bank and he cashes it in at this year's Money in the Bank, I think that would be kind of neat to see. The guy actually holds on to it for the full year, the maximum time you can hold on to it for.
And maybe there's a storyline where they're telling him, dude, like the Authority example, if he's not part of the Authority anymore, they're like, dude, you have until the beginning of the next Money in the Bank match before you cash it in, otherwise you lose it.
Yeah.
And then there's a big storyline of how is he going to do it? Then he finds out of nowhere, like the champion at that time sleeping, or there's something that they could do.
Yeah.
With storyline wise, how cool or how stupid it could be. There's the ideas there possible.
Yeah, there's ways you can go. Like, Kevin, you and I, and everybody out there for that matter, we've seen the catch the face champion when he's vulnerable after he's gotten a match and after he's had the tar beat out of him. We've seen that done to death.
What haven't we seen though? What could be new?
Exactly what you just said. You know, having the guy hold on to the something along those lines. I get it's different, but what John Cena did was, giving CM Punk the warning that, hey, next week I'm going to catch this in, or RVD did that too. But that's a face thing. I get that. The heel's not going to do that. It's just, I don't know. You're right. There's not a whole hell of a lot they can do, but I mean, with the crack writers they have at WWE, I'm sure they can come up with fantastic things.
Yeah, I would not be so convinced. All right, you said it was Rollins? I agree.
Rollins.
It's Rollins.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I agree. All right, probably the match that the build's been the best in the entire card, and the last match that is not for a title before the other ones, so that's why I'm talking about it now, even though it's probably the second most anticipated match on that card, but the one that people have waited 14 freaking years, if not longer, to see: Sting versus Triple H. And even though it's not announced, I can't see how it's not a no-holds-barred match.
Yeah, I think it's got to be because
the bat and the sledgehammer, just because.
Yeah, of that. Sting is 800 years old, and but I mean, I'm assuming he can still go. He
looked great though. He looked more in good shape, but
I hope he doesn't wrestle with a shirt on. As gay as that might sound, I hope he doesn't wrestle with a T-shirt on.
I know it like destroys something.
Yeah, it just
it suspends the disbelief for a little while.
Well, Kevin, my thoughts on the Triple H Sting. I get that Sting needed someone to work with and had to be someone a little bit bigger. Obviously, you had to go, with the exception of John Cena or The Undertaker. Who else are you going to really go with? Yeah. I think they're kind of trying to force feed us this whole WCW storyline with Triple H.
But the opening statement of Sting yesterday on Monday Night Raw was great, though. I'm not here to fight for WCW because after 14 years, that would be stupid. And I thought, that's true. That's exactly really true. And thanks for mentioning it, by the way.
Well, here's the thing. As much as I have a disdain for Triple H, the guy can perform, and I'm sure he's going to put on a great match with Sting. These guys are two consummate professionals. They're both ring vets, and I think we're going to see a good match. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be the regular Triple H 30-minute marathon. They might get 15, 20. But I think there's no way. I would bet the farm on it. There's no way that Sting doesn't win.
I hope so. But you know what this match is missing? A, not a title, but it's missing a what's the word? It's missing some, not substance, but it's missing something to fight for. It's missing like a reward at the end. It's missing like if Sting wins, Triple H is not the authority anymore, but this time for real. And it would be fitting because in all the freaking builds, Sting is like, I'm doing this to bring you down. And the only way you're going to bring Triple H down, and if you take him out of his job as the kayfabe the authority guy, you know?
Yeah, no, so, and I was thinking that too. It makes perfect sense.
Maybe that's a hint that the feud is not going to end at WrestleMania, and it might continue for longer. And maybe the whole build for a year to pump up WrestleMania 32 would be that next year, example, Sting wins now and he says, I'll fight you next year, but this time your job is on the line. And if I win, I go into the Hall of Fame and you're out of a job. And if you win, whatever, and then he wins again. Or something along those lines where the same match or a different match concerning Triple H next year could be meaningful in the big story arc where he wouldn't be the authority figure and you would have a different type of wrestling show.
The only thing I don't like about that, Kevin, is it means that we have to see another year of the authority.
It could be quicker, but the go home show and SmackDown is taped, so it's not going to happen this year.
No, I mean, here's my question to you. Here's the question I pose to you. So after this match, do we see Sting again wrestling this year? Do we see him at SummerSlam? Do we see him maybe at Survivor Series? Do we see him, is he going to be like a Brock Lesnar? Is he going to show up every now and then?
Is he going to fight Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, exactly. Like, are we going to see Sting fuck, that'd be awesome.
Can you imagine? And he's like, I destroyed one figure in the past, The Undertaker. Sting, you're next.
Yeah, perfect.
Or Goldberg. Why not Goldberg? Because this time an actual good match. Goldberg always wanted to come back, and he was supposed to have a kickboxing fight with Alberto Del Rio in the beginning of May with the Glory on Spike.
Yeah.
But now it's up in the air because Del Rio got injured getting training. But who knows?
So I think we'll see. I think Sting will have a few matches, maybe 2 or 3 more this year. He'll have his match at Mania 32, and I'm assuming with The Undertaker. And then I think that'll be it for both of them. And then
Sting goes over.
Yeah, I think Taker. Oh, against Undertaker?
No, Sting goes over Triple H.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And I agree. So that's my prediction, too. All right, the first of the title matches. Well, we don't know the order yet, but the first one we're going to talk about. The ladder match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. At the beginning of the build, I thought it was cool because it was big-time players fighting for that belt, and I think it was going to give some legitimacy to that belt. But at the end, Rob, the fact that they just played hot potato with the fucking belt like they were 5 years old and passed it around a big lollipop, it freaking got on my nerves. And I don't know why I say freaking, it fucking got on my nerves. And I don't know, yes, even if Bryan or Ambrose win, it will bring some legitimacy back to that title, and then they can do good things with it from now on. But why having stupid characters like R-Truth and Stardust in the same level, at the same height as Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, and Daniel Bryan? I don't get it.
Yeah, no, they needed someone to fill that kind of stuff, right? So I guess it was just kind of
like a 4-way instead, and put the other guys in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Be nicer, right?
And doesn't 7 just seem like a weird number? Like,
yeah.
Like, shouldn't we throw fucking somebody? If you're gonna take Curtis Axel and throw him in there, you know what I mean?
Why not?
I would have liked to seen it as a and we would have lost Ambrose, but I would have kind of liked to seen it as a former champions, Intercontinental Champions only ladder match. I think that would have been kind of neat. But
yeah, to give some legitimacy again to that title that's been passed around. And you know what? The fact that title has been passed around the last 2-3 years, the best way to hype it is not to pass it around again between people in a couple of weeks. It's just stupid.
Yes, and Kevin, this is their chance. This is their chance to finally make the Intercontinental title mean something. This is their chance to do that. And knowing WWE, they're going to fuck it up because I'm sure whoever wins it will lose it the next night on Raw. But this is their chance to make that belt mean something.
I just had a flash. And I just had a fashion. The fact that Brock Lesnar signed it, I think it's going to be that's exactly the case. Let me break it down to you, Rob.
Okay.
You got Bryan and Ambrose fighting for the the IC title. You got John Cena fighting for the US title.
Mm-hmm.
You got two of your most over guys fighting for the secondary strap.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that the champion is not going to be on TV again for a long time.
Yeah.
And Brock just re-signed, and it seemed like Vince McMahon did everything he could to sign him. He probably signed the house and gave him like half his shares or something of the WWE to make it sign or something. So that tells me that Brock goes over, but we'll get there later.
Well, Kevin, like I said, this is their chance to bring legitimacy back to this title. Our reward, and you said it yourself perfectly, with the stupid hot potato of the belt, the stupid just stealing, everyone's stealing it, and of course they got to make R-Truth the black guy steal it the most.
Wow, I didn't see it that way.
Our reward, Kevin, for all that bullshit is probably going to be the match of the night, and maybe the match of the year. I don't want to speculate that already because that Royal Rumble triple threat match is by far the front runner in that category. Yeah. But this is our reward. This is our reward. This match is the reward for all the bullshit and crap that we had to put up with for the last 6 weeks of the build.
So who do you predict? There you go. Daniel Bryan?
No, I don't go Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is I don't think he's going to win the Intercontinental belt.
So you go with Dean Ambrose?
I'm not even going with Dean Ambrose. I'm going a little...
What the fuck, you go with fucking R-Truth?
No, I'm going Wade Barrett retains it.
Oh, wow.
I think the only way... I think in a way, the only way you can bring legitimacy to the title and to Wade Barrett, who's been losing so many fucking matches, if you don't want Wade Barrett to just get buried and get Zack Ryder status, he's got all the odds against him. People have been stealing his belt. He's defending against 6 other men. What perfect way? Wade Barrett climbs the ladder and he gets his belt back.
And on Monday after WrestleMania, you get Ziggler versus Bryan for the #1 contendership for that IC title.
Make it mean something again. It meant something back in the day. Make it mean something.
And yeah, exactly. You have people fighting over a spot to fight the champion. People that are meaning something as Bryan or Ziggler. And that could be a good way to do it, Rob. I not disagree, but I believe that the fact that they did not have any Daniel Bryan plans when he came back, and it's going to be another Bone Throne. So there's going to be 2 IWC Bone Throne in that match, in that pay-per-view, the Battle Royal, and that ladder match Daniel Bryan goes over.
Okay. No, I either, like, honestly, Kevin, yours makes a lot of sense too, but so does Dean Ambrose. I mean...
Yeah, it could be Dean Ambrose. That's because the fact that I remember that promo, he walking around the aisles of WWE head office, and he's like... Any posters of me I can look at?
And he's finally got his photo up.
He wants his photo with the IC title.
By the way, Dean Ambrose lost all legitimacy with me when he started dancing with R-Truth on Monday. You want to be the Brian Pillman of this generation?
He should have given him the dirty deeds. Would have been perfect.
Right away.
Because he gave it to Ziggler or to Bryan. I can't remember. Yeah. But he's not going to give it to R-Truth.
So, yeah. Like, you're supposed to be... Everyone compares you to Brian Pillman? Well, Brian Pillman wouldn't fucking dance.
It ain't that fringy, and there's nothing lunatic about that move.
No. I hate that stupid name.
Lunatic
Why does everyone have to have a nickname?
What the fuck is a lunatic fringe, Rob?
I don't know, Kevin. Everyone's gotta have a fucking nickname.
What's a lunatic fringe? A part of your pants that just goes AWOL?
I don't know. Maybe ask the Beast incarnate. He might know. Yeah. Why don't you just call him the Beast? Why does he have to be incarnate? What's the incarnation of?
He's incarnate of who? What Beast? A Mantor?
Kevin, I have high blood pressure. We shouldn't be yelling about this kind of stuff because it's not going to help me.
Well, the match that probably is not going to help you. WWE United States title match. Rusev versus John Cena. First of all, if they would not have a match at Fastlane, the build for that match would probably been a lot better.
Yeah, of course it would have been. And Kevin,
they're stupid overreacting in a single moment because of the Daniel Bryan chants and the Reigns booed at the Rumble created the fact that they needed that match for Fastlane, and I think ruined the build for that match, even though they did their best, and Cena did take a lot of big bumps on Monday, which probably tells me that he's going to go over and fuck Rusev. So you get Rusev protected for a whole fucking year to make John Cena look better when you're trying to put John Cena lower on the card. I don't get it.
I could care less about this match. I'm sorry. And I know that And I know they tried to...
Except Rusev win. If Rusev wins, I'm going to do this. And I'll be like, yes, you build the guy, and now he's even looking stronger before a title contention. So if Reigns win, you get somebody against Rusev. Or if Brock Lesnar becomes a fucking babyface like we all think he's going to do, well, you have a heel opponent for the champion as Rusev. So, but yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, Kevin, Cena and Rusev, I don't know what it is. Some guys have chemistry together and some guys don't in the ring. These guys don't. And I'm sorry, they're just not. They just don't mesh well. Their match at Fastlane was boring. I find all the build-up and promos are the same. USA rules. No, it doesn't. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's just fucking. If you
do this, I'll kick your ass. He's doing this. I'll kick your ass.
All of Bruce says. Programs are the same with Jack Swagger, Mark Henry, Big Show. Come on, we get
Swagger.
You like Russia.
Okay, so what are we doing tonight, guys? I don't know. Should Rusev fight? Sure. Who against? Swagger. Fight Rusev again. Okay.
Just pick him up off the... Yeah, like they just pick him out. They just taking a shit. All right, get out there.
But we can't have Cena fight Rusev again, especially a week before WrestleMania. Swagger. Fight Rusev.
Why not? Why not? The old adage of keeping guys apart from one another is dead. I'm surprised they didn't have the whole... We're going to have a whole WrestleMania fucking preview card on this.
They had a ladder match, which was stupid.
Don't get... Again, let's not...
Let's not have a heart attack while doing a WrestleMania preview.
Fake sports.
There's nothing fake about it.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Still real to me, god damn it.
But yeah, Kevin, I don't care about Rusev. I don't care about John Cena.
But you do care about Lana.
Yeah, of course I do. Who the fuck doesn't care about Lana? Where is she?
She's filming a movie, probably
That's right, she
25.
Is. Hopefully a porno.
No, it's not a porno. She would be fired.
Oh, yeah, I know. God forbid. Oh, Kevin,
it's against the wellness policy.
Kevin, if this was the Attitude Era, how quickly would Lana be in Playboy?
It would have been done already.
You know what I mean? Yeah, oh, fuck yeah, 100%.
Well, Playboy was still relevant.
Yeah, well, I think if you get a bigger start, well, whatever. You can just find that shit online anyways.
Exactly. So, the main event, the WWE World Heavyweight title match between the challenger Roman Reigns, 2015 Royal Rumble winner, and descendant of the famous Samoan bloodline versus the Beast, Brock Lesnar.
Well, Kevin, a lot of people are down on this main event, and I was one of them. But the fact that Lesnar has re-signed makes this a lot more interesting. And I think that they might have held this announcement off. I think this deal was done 2 weeks ago, and they held this announcement off just to give that last final push. Now, Raw ended fucking horribly.
But it's stupid. Just the way he holded the belt in front of him, it was so unnatural. Like, okay, for sure the other guy's gonna reach for it. Otherwise, he would have held it straight up over his head, not in the middle of the distance between the two.
Yeah, and here's my thing, Kevin, and a lot of people online were complaining, like, oh, this is the go home before WrestleMania. It's supposed to make you want to watch the pay-per-view. We don't live in that society anymore where you sell the go home show and then you drive up pay-per-view buys, because everyone already has a network that's going to be watching WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have the network. I'm going to be watching WrestleMania. Now, I'm interested, and you and I will discuss it after next month what the network numbers go down to. But the idea of, they know people who have the fucking network, you're a fan enough, you're going to be watching WrestleMania, that they don't have to put anything big like that on the go-home show. And I don't know if you follow Vince Russo at all, Kevin. I'm pretty sure you do. But he apparently, and I haven't listened to his podcast from this past week, but apparently he was just going bonkers over the finish of this Raw. And I don't blame him. It's one of the worst build-ups. Here's my thoughts on this year's WrestleMania. This WrestleMania has been the worst built in history, without a doubt. I don't agree, disagree, maybe so, yes, no, maybe so. But I think this WrestleMania has been the worst built ever.
Maybe. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But there's some things that it'll be interesting. But we do follow everything. If we rewatch it, or if you watch it as a just a one-off. Maybe it's going to be great. Who
Yeah,
knows?
again, Kevin, I hope and I bumped into some guy. The other day at work, some guy came in and he was wearing a CM Punk shirt, and there was another guy who
So
came
you
in.
looked at him and says, "You a fan?"
No, I think he was. Unless he just
You
randomly.
have to.
And then there's another guy wearing a I can't remember. I can't remember. It was like a fucking. It might have been a John Cena shirt. Anyways, both guys were all three of us were the same age. Now these were two totally separate people, Kevin. They're two totally separate. They weren't together. They weren't friends, and it was within one was one day, one was the next day. And the guy in the Punk shirt, I said he was with his buddy, and he wasn't wearing a shirt, but he was a fan, obviously too. I'm like, dude, can I ask you something? Are you excited about this Mania? And he's like, not at all. Doesn't feel like WrestleMania at all. And we kind of shot the ship for a few minutes, and then I went to talk to the other guy, who was wearing the Cena shirt, and he was so excited about this WrestleMania, so excited about the possibility of Reigns winning. And this thing that's in a nutshell. There's two totally different. There's
Did you slap him?
Yeah, I wish I could have. There's us fans, and then there's
He's
those
bigger
fans.
than you.
And you know what, Kevin? At the end of the day, those fans far outweigh us, unfortunately.
I guess, right?
They do, because I run to a lot more of them than I do of one of ours.
Well, I guess if
I don't like to say the IWC. I think it makes it sound like fucking douchebags, but I guess
no, but
you
I
know
understand
what
what you mean. The kind of person who listened to this podcast or who subscribed to the Observer is not the same type of person who's just going to tune in for Raw superstars and maybe SmackDown and just leave it at this.
Yep.
If you just do this and you don't get your news somewhere else, you don't really know the fact that the backlash with the Roman Reigns and all that. So you might have different feelings toward the whole situation. But not having just a WWE bubble, getting news outside of that, being subscriber of the Observer and those type of subscribing services, you do have a different portrait of what's going on, and it makes it different. It makes Reigns maybe not that over.
100%, Kevin, 100%. And so, anyways, I just found it interesting to get a difference in opinions, obviously. So,
who goes over? Who wins the belt at WrestleMania Playsign in the Levi Stadium?
well, Kevin, I know people are thinking with Lesnar back, he's going to win. He's going to win, but I couldn't disagree more. I still think Reigns goes over, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Heyman is going to turn on Lesnar, especially now that Lesnar's
that's why the wink was for?
Pardon me, maybe could have been
Because he winked clearly.
Lesnar
live on camera.
Especially that Lesnar has re-signed now, because Reigns turns on Heyman turns on Lesnar. Reigns wins the title. Next night on Raw, they come out. Reigns has already got his promo set up. You fans booed me. Stick it. Now I'm with this guy. Because Heyman always spoke highly of Reigns, and Reigns said it in one of his promos, "I respect you." You already got that set up. And Lesnar's already over as it is. Can you imagine the fucking pop when he comes back 3-4 months down the road to confront Reigns? And you have a fresh new set of matches with Reigns as a face. You got Reigns and Cena. You can go.
As a heel, you mean, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. You got Reigns and Cena. You got Reigns and Bryan, if you want.
Reigns and Rollins, but you eventually turn Rollins' face, so that works.
Reigns and Ziggler. You got a ton you can do there. So to me, that makes the most sense. So Reigns wins.
That could be work. I'm still gonna predict that Brock Lesnar destroys Roman Reigns, puts back Roman Reigns down the bottom of that ladder of contender, and make Roman Reigns a heel. You know what could be good? Example, okay?
Okay.
Brock Lesnar destroys Roman Reigns.
Yes.
Roman Reigns gets up. He takes a look at Paul Heyman on the sideline. Paul Heyman's surprised because Paul Heyman thought Roman Reigns was going to do better. And they both look at each other. And Heyman turns on Lesnar.
Yeah.
But the match already over, so he keeps the strap. But he becomes the babyface champion. And then you have the contender that couldn't do it by himself. But now he has the backing of the best manager in the history of the business in Paulie Dangerously with him. So now having the two together can build for a match, Reigns versus Lesnar, that could probably be more well received than this one.
Yeah.
But you can have a lot of other things in the build. And who knows, you can have it teased that Rollins comes out because they laid out the champion, and because whatever, you can do a deal where somebody stops Rollins to start a new program or whatever. because I believe that there's going to be a big angle at the finish of WrestleMania 31, because you remember their biggest WrestleMania show they did ever, ticket-wise, build-wise, was when they had that one-year build with Cena and Rock. Who knows? They might go.
What an idea, eh, Kevin? You plan something early and it works out perfectly.
Why not? Because you have to stay on the script because you already said it.
Yeah,
Because you're accountable to your words. And if you go out there saying a year from now we're doing this, well, you know what? A year from now you have to do this.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the 101 of story writing. Know where you start, know where you're going to end.
Well, no, it's know where you finish and then start the rest.
Yeah, because when you know where you're finishing, how easy is it to write in the rest, right?
Yeah.
So basically,
exactly.
Kevin, what you're saying is we both agree on the fact that Lesnar's turning face, Reigns is turning heel. We're just different ways of getting there.
I believe that he keeps the strap because
Do you believe that, Kevin? Are you saying that? You believe that?
I believe that Lesnar will destroy Reigns because of the fact that the flash that I said earlier, that Cena's fighting for the US strap and Bryan's fighting for the IC strap. If both of them win it, means both of them are not going to fight for the championship anytime soon. Mm-hmm. And that means regardless of who is the champion, it means that the champion is probably not going to be that much TV time because those guys will get some TV time. So it means that it's going to be Brock and he's going to be still away for long because of his contract. Who knows? He might have more dates on his contract this time. But still, it's going to be interesting. And I believe that Brock retains because of all those factors that have happened in the last couple of weeks. That's like the direction I believe they're going with. Just the fact that those two guys are fighting for the lesser straps, which are going to bring up the straps. And you can see those straps being fight for on TV and on the big pay-per-view like SummerSlam, Rumble. You get the people fighting for the big strap with the storyline. Let's bring back that strap to our roster. Let's go get it back so we can fight for a bigger championship or something like this.
Well, Kevin, I like your. I think that's a good idea, and maybe with with Cena and Bryan winning the secondary titles. What a great way to elevate those titles by having them unified with two of your top talent.
And if Rusev moves on to fight for the heavyweight championship after WrestleMania as a heel with Brock Lesnar as a face, it can make a great match. And then Lesnar goes over Rusev, and eventually it brings a lot of matches that way too.
Well, Kevin, let's look at it like this, and we'll end things off on a positive note. Although WrestleMania hasn't been built perfectly, this is the best time of the year. We got WrestleMania on Sunday. We got the NHL playoffs starting soon, with both of our teams, by the way, battling out for first overall in the NHL, and apparently Carey Price is the new Ken Dryden.
No, he's better than Ken Dryden. Carey Price is the first Carey Price, which is probably going to be the best season in the history of goaltending. But I would digress.
So I'm looking forward to that. We got the NBA playoffs coming up.
Who cares? MLS has started.
Yeah, MLS is starting. We got the Champions League going. We got the MLB starting. We got so much shit going on, Kevin, that, although WrestleMania might be booked pretty shitty, at the end of the day, we're still wrestling fans. We're going to watch it. Even if it's the perfect fucking card, we're still going to complain because that's what we do.
And at the end of the day, you might have Daniel Bryan with a championship, Cesaro Kid with a championship, and Brock Lesnar with a championship, and might have Finn Balor with a trophy. So at the end of the day, the IWC might complain, but they probably would get what they one of their wet dreams.
Well, Kevin, I say we'll probably be back Monday night with a little preview, post-game chat. And, yeah, we'll see.
And until then, a lot of WrestleMania minutes. About 10 of them are going to drop the rest of the week. Maybe now 8 left for the rest of the week. So we'll bring it back to speed before the WrestleMania 31. You'll hear all our WrestleMania minutes this week.
I think we have 6 left that we have to do we not? Or
yes, but to post we have 8.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, so talk to you soon and enjoy WrestleMania Playsign and give us your feedback for WrestleMania Playsign down the aisle podcast at gmail.com.